I've been coming to Comida Típica Rosita in Antigua, Guatemala for the last 2 years, and every time I return, there's something about this little place that brings me back. But this time, when I walked through the door, something was different. I remembered the restaurant exactly as it used to be. You entered through this little storefront surrounded by colorful Guatemalan bags, bracelets, textiles, souvenirs, and handmade crafts, and right there downstairs was the dining room, and usually, somewhere nearby, was Herbert. I first met Herbert 2 years ago during my very first trip to Antigua, so when I came back today, I was actually looking forward to seeing him again. But I walked in, and no Herbert, even stranger, I couldn't find the dining room. For a second, I thought maybe the restaurant wasn't here anymore. Then I saw a familiar face. Kely, who works in the kitchen, recognized me and was genuinely happy to see me again, and that's when she told me something I wasn't expecting. The restaurant had moved upstairs, so I started climbing the stairs and suddenly the whole place opened up. There was this beautiful rooftop dining area I'd never seen before, full of people eating, talking, and enjoying the cool Antigua evening. Flowers and plants surrounded the terrace, and now there was a view over the city. It felt completely different from the restaurant I remembered. And then, there he was, Herbert. After 2 years, it was great seeing him again. And that's one reason I keep coming back to places like Rosita. The food matters, but eventually the people become part of the experience too. And the food here is about as Guatemalan as it gets. This is comida típica, traditional food that feels more like something prepared in a family kitchen than something designed for tourists. You can find classics like hocon de pollo, chicken cooked in that distinctive green sauce with tomatillos and cilantro, pepián, one of Guatemala's most famous traditional stews, enchiladas loaded with vegetables and meat, tamales, grilled meats, rice, beans, tortillas, and homemade soups. I ordered the caldo de pavo, Guatemalan turkey soup, and it was exactly what I wanted. Hot, hearty, flavorful, and comforting. Nothing fancy or pretentious, just good food that tastes homemade, and the portions here are generous while the prices are still remarkably reasonable, especially for Antigua. But something else happened on that rooftop that reminded me why I enjoy traveling. I started talking with a group of women who were having dinner before a much bigger adventure the following morning. They were going to climb Volcan Acatenango, and they admitted they were nervous. It's a tough climb, and for some of them, this was going to be a serious test. Then, on the other side of the rooftop, I noticed another traveler sitting by herself. Her name was Faize, a Canadian-Iranian traveling solo on a long journey through South and Central America, including Colombia. Think about that for a moment. I'm sitting on a rooftop in Guatemala eating caldo de pavo. Faize is across the terrace eating caldo de pollo, telling me about this incredible journey across 2 continents. And the next morning, she was planning to take on what she described as the biggest hike of her life, Volcan Acatenango. Her goal was to make it to the top and look across the valley at one of the most active volcanoes in the world, Volcán de Fuego, hopefully erupting in the distance. 2 strangers, 2 bowls of soup, 1 rooftop in Antigua. And somehow the conversation ends with climbing a volcano. That's the beauty of Antigua. You can sit down alone for dinner and leave with somebody else's adventure stuck in your mind. I don't know what happened the next day. Did Faize make it to the top of Acatenango? Did she battle through the cold, the altitude, and that brutal climb? Did the clouds clear? And when darkness fell, did she finally get to stand there and watch Volcán de Fuego erupt across the valley? I hope she did, because that's one of the great things about traveling. You meet people for a few minutes or a few hours, hear part of their story, and then your paths separate. Sometimes you're left wondering how the next chapter turned out. And meanwhile, my own little story at Rosita had come full circle. 2 years ago, I discovered a small restaurant downstairs beside a shop filled with Guatemalan crafts. Today, I came back expecting everything to be exactly where I left it. Instead, Kely sent me upstairs. I found a rooftop full of life. I found Herbert again. I met travelers heading toward their next adventure, and I sat down with a great bowl of caldo de pavo. Sometimes returning to an old favorite isn't about finding everything exactly the way you remember it. Sometimes it's better when you don't.
This is a turkey soup, kakik. But his name is kakik.
Like Mayan.
It's Mayan soup. The original de Oban.
Tomorrow you're going to climb the mountain?
I am gonna go to hike the Acatenango. It's overnight, and I'll be back on Friday, and I'm flying back home on Friday at this midnight. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if he's gonna work out.
Wow. So this is the end of your big trip.
It is. I'm finishing it with a big hike. So I hope I'll make it back in one piece.
Yes, and I hope you get to see some of the eruption.
I know, yeah, I hope so. That's what I came for, so I hope I get to see that.
Wow.